president of ASI Cayman, Mr. Glenville Hodgson, who is the vice president, and Ms. Isabel Gomez, who is the project manager. And so later on, they'll also be joining us in the program. But for this evening, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce to us Ms. Stephanie Plough, who is, as I said before, a qualified financial and wealth manager, and she is with the International Financial Planning. We have been having these financial management seminars prior to COVID-19. The first one was held at the West Bay Seventh Adventist Church, and we had another successful session that was also broadcast on Praise 87.9. And for this session and going forward during this time of COVID-19 and social distancing, we'll be going, I suspect, totally online with our future programs for the time being. And so this afternoon, we have this session being done here. I want to take this opportunity now to introduce to you Mrs. Stephanie Plough, who is a qualified financial planner and wealth manager with international financial planning and has over 13 years experience in helping individuals to plan their finances. She was a consultant with two major financial institutions in the UK, working with clients to achieve their financial goals, and has been working with locals and expats here in Cayman in the offshore market since joining IFP a little over a year ago. Stephanie relocated to Cayman Islands in 2017 with her husband and two children, where she now continues to help individuals and families with their investment and their retirement and educational fees planning. And so it's indeed a privilege for us to have someone with that wealth of knowledge and experience to speak to us. And I know it will be a beneficial seminar this evening. And I look forward, Stephanie, as you bring this presentation to us, and we turn over to you at this time.
Thank you, Rohan. Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for inviting me along to speak with you today. As Rohan said, I'm going to start my presentation this evening is around investment basics and the ways that I'm helping locals and expats here in the Cayman Islands to make the best of the money that they have available. So we all dream of being able to retire young enough to enjoy our free time. And I guess we have a mental picture of what retirement looks like for all of us. My ideal retirement, for example, is to travel the world and see as many places as I can. There's so many places out there that I haven't seen. But to be able to do this, I need to build a sound financial plan to help me to get to that position. We're often so busy building a life for our families that we forget to build a financial future for ourselves and for our retirement. International Financial Planning have been helping clients living in the Caribbean for the last 20 years. It's a huge market out there for us, as there are very few financial planners based in the Caribbean that are approaching locals and expats to offer them advice with their money. It's hugely important that every individual has access to impartial and sound financial advice. And there is a general misconception, I guess, that only people of high net worth have a financial planner. This is simply not true. And with our organization in particular, as we work with individuals with differing levels of income, and we want to help as many clients as we can to have a better financial future. We're independent, which means that we represent several financial institutions and a broad spectrum of investment products. Within this, we also have access to hundreds of mutual funds. So what this means is that we're as unbiased, I guess, as we can be in our offering to our clients. We're in the offshore marketplace, and this is obviously suitable for both expats and locals. And what it means is that you have access to tax-efficient investments. It's our goal that every single person should have a financial plan. So how can someone like myself help you with your money? Well, an advisor gets to know your short and long-term goals, the kind of lifestyle you have, your spending habits, and gives you recommendations accordingly. They also understand market patterns, the nature of diversification, and other factors necessary to make an investment choice for your situation. People often fall into the trap of emotional investing, so they'll chase performance and move in and out of the markets, and this can lead to poor diversification. And some clients need reassurance when the markets become volatile, so that they don't panic and they don't sell out of their investments. Everyone's needs are obviously very different, and this will often involve working with a lawyer or a tax advisor if you have particularly complex needs. The advisor is there for the long term to help you towards your goals as your circumstances change. It's surprising to know that only 38% of employees globally are habitual savers. So an advisor helps you to become disciplined with your money, and monthly payments are automatic into your investments. So it's just like another bill that you're paying yourself for your future. So what are my top tips for saving and investing? Saving money can seem impossible at times, but taking a few proactive steps can safeguard you from potential hardship in the future. It's easier to remain invested if you're saving for a specific reason or goal. This could be retirement. It might be towards your children's future education. Perhaps you want to buy a property in the medium term. But whatever it is, and there are hundreds of different reasons out there, it's important that you have that goal in mind. This makes it easier in the long run to remain disciplined and stay on track. The amount that you choose to invest should be affordable and not leave you without should there be any unexpected expenses. But choosing the appropriate level will stop you spending on any non-essentials. This is something that we're all pretty good at, I think, and especially in Cayman. We enjoy socializing and going out to bars and restaurants, and we can so easily spend more money than we had perhaps intended to on a monthly basis. It's important to ensure that you're aware of all of your outgoings, and then you have a good idea of your surplus monthly budget, and to avoid the temptation to spend any that's left over at the end of each month. Don't be tempted to make any withdrawals from your investments or savings, especially if you're going to incur penalties. And start at a level of contribution each month you know you'll be able to maintain, and try to increase that over time. Inflation can drastically reduce the buying power of your money over time. So what exactly do we mean when we talk about investing in the market? Well, basically, you're investing in a slice of a company. You're buying a slice of an organization. And over time, we expect the value of those equities or shares in that company to increase as the organization performs better. To see the greatest returns, we need to remain invested for as long as possible, but for at least 10 years, which is what we would refer to in the industry as the medium term. Anything above this, so 15 to 25 years, is what we call long term. You can also invest in bonds or fixed interest investments. These add stability into your portfolio as a whole. And commercial real estate has also been shown to have good returns over the longer term. Many people choose to have a portion of that within their portfolio also. Unless you're a very sophisticated investor, we don't usually recommend that you would invest in single companies. We want to take away some of the risk and uncertainty involved in investing, so we pool our resources with hundreds or thousands of other investors into mutual funds and let the experts manage which stocks are in the funds at any one time. Inflation can reduce the buying power of our money, as I mentioned previously, particularly if we have money in the bank. Inflation's at 3% in Cayman at the minute, and bank accounts are typically earning 0.1% interest, if that. When inflation rises, the cost of goods rise, but we don't necessarily have salary inflation at the same time. If we invest, we're receiving typically 5 to 7% annual growth over the long term. So our money will go further. What's worth $20,000 now is unlikely to be worth that in 20 years' time. And so we need to account for this inflation. What would be my top tips for investing then? So see the relationship with your advisor as a long-term one. Choose